What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're having a very blessed and wonderful day. Today's video topic will be about the things that I think are the most important for us to see during this upcoming promotion period for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But real quick, because I actually had to go back and re-edit this video just to include this. Now, I'm gonna put the picture up here on the screen. I'm gonna read it. Join us this Wednesday for the first episode of our brand new series, Suicide Squad Insider. In episode 1, Rocksteady will unpack the story and gameplay of Suicide Squad Kill Justice League. Fuck yeah. Man, see, because it's crazy, because it's like, this was definitely something that I was going to talk about in this video. Not this specifically, but the lack of this, but it's actually here now. So Wednesday, not only will we be reacting to episode 1 of this, but we're also going to be breaking down everything it is that we can find and more. And we're going to be doing this for all of the episodes of Suicide Squad Insider. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. But on to the main video. So I'm still a little bit sick, so please forgive me. Now, as of right now, we all know that the game is slated for release on February 2nd of 2024. We all know that since the State of Play fiasco back in February and the delay announcement in April, the developers have been on the media blackout and nothing has really been said so far until today. Now, we got two things that day. We got to preview a mission where we had to save Lex Luthor from Flash and Brainiac, and we pretty much had a dev diary about exactly what was happening behind the scenes of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, the gameplay really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and the dev diary did not really help when we learned about things like the battle pass and the gear system and more, because that rubbed people even more of a worse way, right? That State of Play event definitely left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and because we've heard nothing since then, with the exclusion of today, that taste has pretty much just been left to fester over the past 8 months, and we are rapidly reaching the point of no return. They delayed the game so they can polish it, which is fine, but there are certain things that I feel personally needs to be done during this upcoming promotion period in order to help change the narrative. The first major thing is showing us unfiltered footage. So, one of the biggest issues was the gameplay showcase itself. Now, I personally enjoyed it. If you don't believe me, you can go back and look at my video where I made a reaction to it. I was loving every bit of it, but I can also understand why others were not really happy about it. Now, studios tend to really have a habit of not cutting loose with their games, and more often than not, that ends up playing negatively in their favor. When they're being shown off, there are often times that is heavily restricted to a certain part of the game. And I get that it's done that way because they don't want to reveal too much before it's ready. And then in other cases, studios might just simply be forced to show what they did show simply because word might have come from higher up and there was nothing that could have been done at that point. That's completely understandable. With Suicide Squad, we saw that the group was taking on a number of different enemies throughout the mission, which resulted in them taking on a giant, somewhat living artillery cannon and multiple other creatures. Now, this cannon, some enemies, and some enemy vehicles had the one thing that people have been complaining about since they watched it, which are the purple weak points. Now, I'll be honest, did that bother me? No, because a good portion of everyone watching this video has played a game where there were weak points on an enemy that could be hit or had to be hit in order to take them out. The same people saying how we got from Arkham Knight to this are just somehow forgetting that, you know, Arkham Knight had the same mechanic, and before anyone else tries it, it's the same damn thing. It's not different just because it came back out in 2016. No, that game had a mechanic on all of the unmanned tanks when you had to shoot the weak points in order to kill them because the armor on them was too tough. This is not a, I don't get why people were acting like it's a brand new mechanic, because it's definitely not. So moving forward, we need to see some actual raw gameplay. I'm talking completely unfiltered. We need to understand what this game will be when we get to play it, because right now things are not really looking all that hot. Now, I won't show the name of the developer that said this, but he did say it publicly on Twitter. So all you got to do is just search it up and you'll find it. But he said he thinks what was shown was extremely limited of the gameplay and that he will let people judge when it is out. That statement right there says a lot, because we have people simply judging the entire game off one mission that contained a number of weak points, a showcase that was extremely limited as well. I know everyone who kept up with the Gotham Knights game remembers the whole Red Hood situation. And that was all over my feed, where I kept seeing comparisons of Red Hood from Arkham Knight and then Gotham Knights with the captions, "Look how they murdered my boy," because the showcase for him had him using his guns 85% of the time, which was a horrible mistake, because that created the narrative that his combat wasn't fleshed out, and the developers gave him the short end of the stick, which was not the case at all. They just did a bad job at simply showing off his character. That's the situation that we are having. That's basically the situation we're having right now with Suicide Squad. We need raw gameplay. We need to really be able to see what these characters can do. It can be a boss fight, it can be side missions, it can be free roam. Hell, give some other content creators access to the game and let us see it through their eyes. It does not matter. We just need something that's worthy enough to judge the game fairly on. Now, if it's still bad at that point, then there's absolutely nothing we can say. But at the very least, the game would have had a much fairer stake in the judging process, if y'all get what I'm saying, right? Just give us some unfiltered gameplay that we can really judge, and I promise you, good or bad, it will be for the better, because people can truly see exactly what it is y'all have been working on for however many years Suicide Squad has been in development. Now, next up is more details about the monetization process for the game. So this is a very touchy subject for everyone, and this is one that needs to be cleared up as soon as possible. So as we know, as of now, all future DLC will be free. Story content, missions, characters, all that sweet stuff, which definitely sounds good on paper. But worries start to set in when you start thinking about how is it they're going to make their money back. Because in order for that to happen, outside of the game's initial sales, everything else has to sell like crazy, which are the cosmetics. Cosmetics will be the only microtransactions in the game, and they will not affect gameplay. So outfits by themselves, items from the battle pass, things of that nature, right? What we need to know are the prices. What are they going to be running our pockets for? How much can we be expected to pay? Exactly what will the cosmetics entail? Like, for example, gun skins and weapon charms and visual effects on bullets and kills and things of that nature. How often can we expect to see new stuff in the shop to buy? Because these characters have definitely been around for years in different forms of media. So the amount of content that they have, the amount of content that they have that can be added is definitely up there. Not to mention new original outfits and returning fits from the Arkhamverse as well. All of that is on top of stuff that they can pull from the comics. And now we need to know what is on the docket for the first couple of months. Essentially, like almost a roadmap, right? Not like, because let me rephrase that, because it sounds like I'm specifically asking for a roadmap specifically for the monetization stuff. No, we need a roadmap for the game in general, right? Just so we can know exactly what we're getting into. But for the monetization stuff, we definitely need to know what's up on the docket, because if there's anything that can seriously hurt this game beyond the point of recovering, it's the monetization. Look at Diablo Immortal, for example. Maxing out the character in that game will actually run you around 50 grand to 100 grand just to reach that threshold. Not only that, you're actually going to be spending more money once you get into the gem system, because those gems are basically augments or mods that slot into your gear. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be as bad as Diablo Immortal, but I'm sure a lot of you were at this moment were just like, it's crazy. Diablo can't be charging that much. Yes, they are. Diablo Immortal will run you 50 grand just to max out your character. 50 grand or more, possibly, right? Now, that right there is a pure example of how bad monetization can get when the company gets too predatory and they stop caring about their players. Now, I'm not saying the Suicide Squad needs to show us everything that they have, but give us a better idea and go more into depth about what that battle pass is all about and what we can expect when it comes to buying stuff. That's something that they need to be fully transparent with. Don't hold back any details, because if we find something after we get our hands on it and it's bad, that's like giving the community a loaded gun and just telling them to point it at you. At that point, nothing good could come from that. Just give us more to work with, and then we can make a fair assessment from there. Now, next up, and last but not least, is character variety. So this also bleeds in with the raw gameplay, but also hammering in on this factor specifically is possibly the second biggest thing here, right? When it comes down to the gameplay. So One of the issues that people were having with this game is the characters and how they play, their uniqueness, right? Now, real quick, let me say this. King Shark and Boomer have guns. Fucking get over it. I know it's weird, but we're also playing a game where a talking shark and a man who's drunk off his ass on the regular are both standing, that's the last line of defense, with an assassin and a chick with a PhD in mental problems against an evil Justice League and one of the smartest people in the universe. Also, Brainiac is here too. This is a shooter, a looter shooter. Making a looter shooter and giving half of the roster guns would actually be half-assing the game. Like, I get these characters in the comics, yes, they're not supposed to have guns. But if this is a looter shooter, they're gonna need to have guns. Because I promise you, if they didn't, the narrative at that point would be, why make a looter shooter and only give half the roster access to guns? That is weird, right? Like it would have been bad either way around. Now, the guns are here, and that has created the narrative of these characters not being unique enough. It also didn't help with seeing their movement. Now, this goes back to the developer that says he felt like what was shown off was highly limited, right? This applies to damn near everything it is that we saw. So outside of the guns, everyone is floating around, for example. Yes, that is true, but in their own way. Shark can leap tall buildings in a single bound and air dash. Boomer has a mix of both teleporting and super speed. Harley is Spider-Woman, and Deadshot can outright fly. Right there are 4 different forms of uniqueness with these characters. But that's not enough for some people. It's not enough to register, and it's not enough to not overlook for some people. So this is what needs to happen. We need to get more into their abilities and their skill trees in melee combat. Shark is the fastest melee character, for example. Let us see how that looks outside of takedowns. We need to see what makes them tick. We need to see what makes them truly unique from one another. Give us an insider episode where it's fully dedicated to the skill trees and abilities. That's somewhere where the developers can actually go nuts with showing this stuff off. We don't need a lot. I'm not asking for everything. We just need enough to shake off this narrative of the characters being the exact same, because they are not. But as we all know, the negative noise can tend to be a lot louder than the positive at times. Now, these are the 3 things I feel will seriously help improve the image of the game for the better. Starting from today, that clock is reset and ticking. If y'all remember in my last video, I said that this Friday was my last best guess for when promotion was going to be starting. Because after this Friday is where things is going to get real shaky about where the promotion was going to start. But I believed it would start this month nonetheless, and it has, and I'm happy. So going forward, there's going to be a lot more content to consume here on the channel related to Suicide Squad, and I cannot wait to talk about this game more with y'all and hopefully play it with, you know, any of my viewers that actually likes me. And with that being said, that's going to go ahead and bring us to the end of the video. So with that being said, hopefully y'all have had a great time here. Let me know down in the comments below how you felt about Suicide Squad finally announcing something today, how you feel about them bringing back the Insider series, because I believe this Insider series was a thing for the Arkham games as well. How do you feel about this being back? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What is it you want to see in these future episodes? And again, if you've enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and smack the notifications bell so that you'll never miss out on any of my future Suicide Squad related content. And I will catch y'all in the moonlight. Peace.